The plan, which was unveiled in September 2020, proposes significant changes to the tax code, including a reduction in corporate tax rates and a shift towards a more consumption-based tax system. While the plan aims to stimulate economic growth, critics argue that it could have devastating consequences for state and local governments, including Alabama. The impact on federal assistance. The tax plan, which was released by the Trump administration in September 2020, proposes to reduce the corporate tax rate from 21% to 15%. This reduction is expected to generate significant revenue for corporations, but critics argue that it could lead to a decrease in federal assistance to state and local governments. The plan also proposes to shift the tax burden from corporations to individuals, which could lead to a decrease in federal assistance to state and local governments. The fight against the Alabama Arise Renewal. The Alabama Arise Renewal, a proposed tax increase, has sparked intense debate in the state. The proposal, which aims to raise taxes on certain goods and services, has been met with opposition from various groups, including Alabama Arise and 55 other partner organizations. The concerns of opponents of the renewal, such as Alabama Arise and its partner organizations, have raised several concerns about the proposal. These concerns include increased taxes on everyday items. The renewal would impose new taxes on goods and services, which could lead to increased costs for consumers and businesses. Negative impact on small businesses. The increased taxes could disproportionately affect small businesses, which may struggle to absorb the additional costs. Economic uncertainty. The renewal could create economic uncertainty, as businesses and individuals may be hesitant to invest in the state due to the uncertainty surrounding the tax increase. #The benefits of the renewal *. The benefits of the renewal. On the other hand, proponents of the renewal argue that it would bring in much-needed revenue for the state. Some of the benefits of the renewal include increased funding for public services. The revenue generated from the renewal could be used to fund public services, such as education and healthcare. Improved infrastructure. The increased revenue could also be used to improve infrastructure, such as roads and public transportation. The state's economy is heavily reliant on federal funding, with a significant portion of its budget allocated towards Medicaid, education, and infrastructure projects. The economic impact of budget cuts. Alabama's economy is heavily reliant on federal funding, with a significant portion of its budget allocated towards Medicaid, education, and infrastructure projects. $3.4 billion for education, including K-12 and higher education. $2.2 billion for transportation, including highways, bridges, and public transit. $1.4 billion for economic development, including workforce development and small business loans. $1.1 billion for public safety, including law enforcement and fire departments. $1.1 billion for infrastructure, including water and sewer systems, and energy efficiency projects. The state of Alabama's federal funding allocation in 2024, Alabama received a significant amount of federal funding, with a total of $14.5 billion allocated to various sectors. This substantial influx of funds will have a profound impact on the state's economy, infrastructure, and social services. Health and Human Services. The largest allocation of federal funds in Alabama went towards health and human services, with $8.1 billion dedicated to this sector. This includes Medicaid, $5 billion Children's Health Insurance Program, CHIP $2 billion other health programs. $4 billion. These funds will be used to support the state's Medicaid program, which provides health coverage to low-income individuals and families. The CHIP program will also continue to provide health insurance to children from low-income families. $1.35 billion for health care, including Medicaid, the Children's Health Insurance Program, CHIP, and the Community Health Center Fund. $1.35 billion for social services, including the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, the Temporary Assistance for Needy Families, TANF, program, and the Child and Adult Protective Services, CAPS, program. The Budget for the American People. The Budget for the American People is a comprehensive plan that outlines the allocation of funds for various government programs and services. $1.2 billion for the Department of Education's programs to support students with disabilities, including special education and programs to improve student outcomes. $1.1 billion for the Department of Health and Human Services programs to support low-income families and programs to improve healthcare access for vulnerable populations. $1.0 billion for the Department of Housing and Urban Development's programs to support affordable housing and programs to address homelessness. The budget for the Department of Justice. The Department of Justice, DOJ, is a critical component of the U.S. government, responsible for enforcing federal laws and protecting the rights of citizens.